Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back. It's Wednesday, Hump Day, November 19th, 2014. I'm Jeremy, talking about what you can do today to make tomorrow better. Today is going to be a little tough for me, actually. The tip is going to be, I've talked about forgiving yourself or forgiving other people. Today, I'm going to say learn how to forgive yourself, because you're going to make mistakes, and we're all going to be hypocrites sometimes. All these tips I've been given, I was looking over them today, and last week, in a silly quarrel, I broke a ton of my tips. Completely was in a really foul mood. Some things went wrong with it was a work issue, and I had some other things going on that didn't have me in the greatest of moods. Not to make excuses, but point was, I broke a ton of the tips that I'm given. I said, first of all, I assumed I read into some text, and I read into tone that I thought was there, and I assumed that I had the right interpretation. I was texting. I should have been calling. If there was an issue about something, I shouldn't have been texting about it. I should have called. Didn't feel like talking at the time. That's why I was texting, but it's no excuse. Got to call. It's something serious. Worrying about things. Day 28? I wrote them down. That was day 20, tip 20. Don't text when you have something to say, or when you should use the phone. 28, worrying about things you can't control. There was an issue. There was some a missing piece of footage, and regardless of how or why it happened, there's nothing I could do about it. So worrying about the consequences, or it's pointless. Just got to deal with it. You got to take it and roll with it and deal with it. And I did not do that. Appreciation, day 31, show appreciation. Normally I'm very good about that. I have not been as good lately, especially when people are working for me or doing me favors. I'm big on showing appreciation. I didn't show appreciation on this day. Having perspective, day 36. Didn't really put things in perspective. I mean, I thought I was, but I didn't. 39, be positive. Wasn't being very positive. And 7, don't assume. So, all that said, breaking all my own premises, forgetting about all the stuff I've been trying to instill, and as I said, this is all a learning process for me, trying to make myself accountable, and I failed on all those counts. Was that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? 6 different tips that I have given out, and I failed them all. And that sucks. That that I did that, and I'm saying this stuff, and there's nothing I hate more in the world than a hypocrite. The problem is, I'm often a hypocrite. I think we all are. A lot of times, it's a case of you knowing what your own faults are, and then when you see those in other people, you notice them, and you bring them up, and those are faults that you don't like, and so it's easy for you to notice them. So that just, once you say anything, it's hypocritical. In this situation, actually, it wasn't seeing something of my own. It was, I had talked about sociopaths last week, and I wasn't kidding about this whole situation, how my trust was completely abused. And without getting into that too much, I really let that situation with that one person really just start clouding my whole worldview, and really start making me a bit paranoid on who I can trust. And I see little similarities between, other people and ways they communicate to that person, and it makes me skeptical. And that's, it's human nature. And the whole point of this tip is I'm aware of that now, and I probably was in the moment, but it was so. When your trust is violated in such a manipulative way, it's scary, and there's not much I can say about that really. The whole point of this is I know why it happened, and the biggest thing is when you do realize that you've broken some of your own, life lessons, when you've broken some of your own like vows to yourself, or like when you've not been the person you wish or know you should have been, own it, admit it, apologize, make it right. It's never too late. We all have our bad days. We all can let things get the better of us sometimes. And it's not about that moment. It's about what do you do when you realize that moment got away from you, that you weren't the better person in that moment. So you got to forgive yourself. That's all you can do. You can't beat yourself up. You can't, there's nothing you can do, because life is all about moving forward. It's about getting knocked down, getting back up. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer to get back up, as long as you get back up. Sometimes when you're getting up, you get hit back, you get knocked back down. And you got to keep getting back up. And that's what I look at this as, is learning to deal with the fact that, I can't trust everybody, and how to segregate that whole concept of what happened to me and not marry that with the thoughts that I've had all of my life up until this point. How to bring them together to make myself more aware and more knowledgeable, but not let them affect my state of mind and my mood to the point where I'm breaking 6 of my own tips to make tomorrow better than today. We're all going to have things, we're all going to have our own faults, and we're all going to have days we wish we could get back. But you can't. So all you can do is accept it, learn from it, and forgive yourself. Because we're all going to make mistakes. We're all going to be hypocrites sometimes. So just know that. Then when it happens, make it right. Make whatever apologies you have to. Try not to let it happen again. Forgive yourself. Keep going. Keep getting up, because life's going to keep knocking you down. And you can't let that have you knocking other people down as a result. You got to just keep getting up and charging forward like nothing happened. I mean, grow from it. Take with it what you learned. Make you stronger. But don't let it affect how you embrace the world, how you charge forward. Because that's the worst thing that can happen, when you let events and you let other people affect you and how you deal with other people. That's the worst possible thing that can happen, unless it's for positive, obviously. But just always know to forgive yourself and get better. Just get better every day, and make sure you're aware. Go back over moments like that, shortcomings. Keep yourself accountable. Make a list if you have to. Write it down. You're like, all right, I did this. This was not acceptable. I need to get better. You can make yourself accountable and get better. And forgive yourself. I've said that way too many times. This is way too long. So I think you get the point. Forgive yourself and keep moving forward. All right. Tomorrow I'll be back with something else you can do to make the next day better. Have a good one.